Leviticus 14. Purification after scaly infection. The Lord said to Moses, this is the final for someone who has the ritual for someone who has scaly infection at the time of that person's purification. The individual shall be brought to the priest who is to go outside the camp. If the priest upon inspection finds that the scaly infection has healed in the afflicted person, he shall order the two live clean birds, as well as some cedar wood, scarlet yarn, and hyssop to be obtained for the one who is being purified. The priest shall then order that one of the birds to be slaughtered over the earthen vessel with fresh water in it. Taking the living bird with the cedar wood, the scarlet yarn, and hyssop, the priest shall dip them, including the live bird, in the blood the bird was slaughtered over the fresh water. Then sprinkle 7 times on the person to be purified from the scaly infection. When he has thus purified that person, he shall let the living bird fly away over the countryside. The person being purified shall then wash his garments, shave off all hair, and bathe in water, and so become clean. After this, the person may come inside the camp, but shall remain outside his or her tent for 7 days. On the 7th day, the individual shall again shave off all hair of the head, beard, and eyebrows. All hair must be shaved, and also wash his garments and bathe the body in water, and so become clean. On the 8th day, the individual shall take 2 unblemished male lambs, 1 unblemished yearling ewe lamb, 3/10 of an ephah of bran flour mixed with oil for grain offering, and 1 log of oil. The priest who performs the purification ceremony shall place the person who is being purified, as well as all these offerings, before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Taking 1 of the male lambs, the priest shall present it as reparation offering, along with the log of oil, raising them as an elevated offering for the Lord. This lamb shall be slaughtered in the sacred place where the purification offering and burnt offerings are slaughtered, because the reparation offering is like the purification offering. It belongs to the priest and is most holy. Then the priest shall take some of the blood of the reparation offering and put it on the lobe of the right ear and the thumb of the right hand and the big toe of the right foot of the person being purified. The priest shall also take the log of oil and pour some of it onto the palm of his own hand. Then, dipping his right finger in the oil in his left palm, he shall sprinkle some of it with his finger 7 times before the Lord. Of the oil left in his hand, the priest shall put some on the lobe of the right ear, the right hand, and the big toe of the right foot of the person being purified, over the blood of reparation offering. The rest of the oil in his hand the priest shall put on the head of the one being purified. Thus the individual will make atonement for the individual before the Lord. The priest shall next offer the purification offering, thus making atonement on behalf of the one being purified from the uncleanness. After this, the burnt offering shall be slaughtered. The priest shall offer the burnt offering and the grain offering on the altar before the Lord. Thus shall the priest make atonement for that person. The individual will become clean. A poor person's sacrifice. If a person is poor and cannot afford so much, that person shall take 1 male lamb for reparation offering, to be used as an elevated offering in atonement, 1/10 of an ephah of bran flour mixed with oil for a grain offering of log oil, and 2 turtle doves or pigeon, which the individual can more easily afford, as one purification offering, on the other is a burnt offering. On the 8th day of purification, the person shall bring them to the priest at the entrance of the tent of meeting before the Lord. Taking the lamb of the reparation offering along with a log of oil, the priest shall raise them as an elevated offering before the Lord. When the lamb of reparation offering has been slaughtered, the priest shall take some of its blood and put it on the lobe of the right ear, of the thumb of the right hand, and the big toe of the right foot of the person being purified. The priest shall then pour some of the oil onto the palm of his own left hand, and with his right finger sprinkle some of the oil in his left palm 7 times before the Lord. Some of the oil in his hand the priest shall also put on the lobe of the right ear, the right thumb, or right hand, big toe, and right of the right foot of the person being purified, where he has sprinkled the blood of reparation offering. The rest of the oil in his hand the priest shall put on the head of the one being purified. Thus he shall make atonement for the individual before the Lord. Then, of the turtle doves or pigeons, such as the person can afford, the priest shall offer one as purification offering, and the other shall be a burnt offering along with the grain offering. Thus shall the priest make atonement before the Lord for the person who is being purified. This is the ritual for the one affected with a scaly infection, who is insufficient means for purification. A fungal infection of houses. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when you come into the land of Canaan, which I am giving you to possess, if I put a fungal infection in any house of the land you occupy, the owner of the house shall come and report it to the priest. Excuse me? Okay. Something like an infection has appeared in my house. The priest shall then order the house to be cleared before he goes in to examine the infection, lest everything in the house become unclean. Only after this he is to go in and examine the house. If the priest upon inspection finds that the infection on the walls of the house consists of greenish or reddish spots, which seems to go deeper than the surface of the wall, he shall go out of the house to the doorway and quarantine the house for 7 days. On the 7th day the priest shall return. If upon inspection he finds that the infection has spread on the walls, he shall order the infected stones to be pulled out and cast into an unclean space outside the city. The whole inside of the house shall then be scraped, and the mortar that has been scraped off shall be dumped into an unclean place outside the city. Then another stone shall be brought and put in a place of old stones, and mortar obtained and plastered on the house. If the infection breaks out once more in the house after the stones have been pulled out of the house, has been scraped and replastered, the priest shall come, and if upon inspection he finds that the infection has spread in the house, it is a corrosive fungus in the house, and it is unclean. It shall be pulled down, and all its stones, beams, mortar, and shall be hauled away to an unclean place outside the city. Whoever enters the house while it is quarantined shall be unclean until evening. Whoever sleeps or eats in such a house shall also wash his garments. If the priest finds when he comes to the house that the infection has in fact not spread in the house after plastering, he shall declare the house to be clean, since the infection has been healed. To purify the house, he shall take 2 birds, as well as cedar wood, scarlet yarn, and hyssop. One of the birds he shall slaughter over the earthen vessel with the fresh water in it. Then, taking the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet yarn, together with the living bird, he shall dip them all in blood of the slaughtered bird and fresh water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. Thus he shall purify the house with the bird's blood and fresh water, along with the living bird, the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet yarn. He shall then let the living bird fly away over the countryside, outside the city. Thus he shall make atonement for the house, and it will be clean. This is the ritual for every kind of human scaly infection and skull, and for fungus disease in garments and houses, for marks, lesions, and blotches, to give directly when there is a state of uncleanness, and when a state of cleanness. This is the ritual for scaly infection.